Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. And from being outside for just a brief moment today, it is starting to feel a lot like golf season finally. Hello, Rich. How are you doing today, buddy boy?
Good.
Sweating?
Finally. Yeah, I went to Buttonhole to practice a little bit because I didn't play this morning. About 20-30 minutes. I was sweating already. So it's here. This is what we asked for. Can't really complain about it. Golf season's finally here. I don't have to wear pants anymore. Thank Jesus. Sick of wearing coats and hats and gloves and everything like that. So yeah, I'm pumped. Gonna play tomorrow in the morning. And then we got a member at the King on Sunday. Me and my brother-in-law are taking part. We are partners, obviously. So I'm excited for that first member tournament of the year. I can't wait.
It's going to be certainly a great weekend of golf. And obviously it's been a great week just in general, lots going on. So we're into all that. But first we should tell you that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Lynx Drinks. Lynx Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. Lynx Drinks now has 3 different flavors: the original, front 9, and back 9 transfusions. And this is the front 9 transfusion. And there you go.
We can see it. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. The white with my background kind of messes up sometimes, but there was the front 9 transfusion. I'm not going to drink it now because it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon and things won't get done. But there's a Lynx Drinks, so check out Lynx Drinks at liquor stores and country clubs near you. So again, thanks to Lynx Drinks for their support, and always great to see Fred. And we saw him a few weeks ago in Plymouth. Anyways, lots going on. It's been a heck of a week in Rhode Island golf scene and the national golf scene. The Live Golf versus PGA Tour battle is really taking a massive turn, just days away from the PGA Championship starting over at Southern Hills, with Phil probably playing, and Tiger playing as well, and whoever all the other guys. So we'll get into some of that. I have some nuggets from yesterday's PGA Championship Zoom call with the CBS crew, my buddy Jim Nance and Nick Faldo. They keep wanting to Zoom call me. I don't know why. I guess I'm that interesting. So we'll get into some of those nuggets as well. There's obviously plenty to talk about. There's bizarre comments from Greg Norman at Media Day Wednesday, I guess, over in England. So he made some bizarre comments to really make things worse. And
can't stop tripping over himself.
And of course, the story locally, the Live Golf event is coming to New England at Boston's International in September, I believe. So that's kind of the local angle to it. But we'll get into all of that really quickly. And there's some local stuff to get to as well. Obviously, early this week was a busy week with Monday I was in Warwick at the Bishop Hendricken Invitational, which was won by Barrington. Boy, was that freezing. Then I thought that was bad. And then the next day I was at Kirkbride for the US Open qualifier, and that was freezing too.
I saw Tommy was wearing a winter hat. I'm like, it must have been cold.
He was wearing like 3 jackets. He was wearing a winter hat. Everyone was like frigid. And but he still amazingly shot 3 under in brutal conditions, which was like an unbelievable score. And he won the gold medalist honors. And so he advances to US Open sectional qualifying, along with URI golf star Bryson Richards and other players, including Connecticut's Fletcher Babcock, professional golfer Jimmy Herval, and Massachusetts Matt Barron. So congrats to them. And then there's also a 3-for-2 playoff for the 2 alternate spots, which Golf News RI actually streamed live. And it didn't look completely terrible, other than my terrible commentary. It actually came out pretty good.
It's tough with the phones, even from like You're
Yeah.
going to be so far away, especially to not get in their way. It's tough.
No,
Even if you have the brand new phone, it sometimes gets grainy and the sound gets distorted, and it's the wind and all that crap. So
I'm sure the
it
wind
was a
sounded,
good video.
I'm sure the wind sounded terrible. It actually looked pretty good, I thought. You could actually see what was going on. I was close enough to where, I mean, no one else was watching. It was just me out there, basically,
Yeah.
with our friends at Riga.
Ah,
But whatever. It was something I wanted to try to do. They went 3 holes. They started on 18. One kid birdied 18, made a great putt on 18 to make birdie. I don't know if you saw it, but that was a tremendous pin placement was tough, and it made a great putt.
I mean, I hope for bogey on 18, and that's like a birdie for me. Another thing that was cool that you posted.
I'll take my double. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'll take bogey or double. Another thing that was cool that you posted was the USGA tee markers. Those things are sick.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was cool up against the green grass. It was sick. I liked it.
It was a cool event. I mean, they had the USGA tee markers. I don't know if you saw the picture. I might have posted on Insta. The flag pit, the flags were USGA flags, like the US Open.
I didn't see it. No.
USGA flags, and everyone was getting pissed because, or at least the local guys were getting pissed. I was talking to Eau Claire at the bar afterward, and he didn't play too well, but conditions were brutal. But he was saying that everyone was getting pissed because all the flags were red flags, and so they thought. And so for the first couple holes, they thought the pins were in the front, and so everyone was getting pissed. So
what a mind screw that is.
So Eau Claire was saying that if you're going to make them all the same flag, that's fine, but you should make them white.
Tell them about it. Yeah,
you should make them white flags. That way, people are missing, whatever he said. I don't want to miss.
Or at least let them know before the round starts.
Right. So everyone was getting frustrated because all the flags are red, and obviously they weren't all in the front locations. So
that's
that was
crazy,
one.
yeah.
I mean, that was just many things.
Yeah, no, but that's kind of a big deal
for those guys. I mean, they play at a different level than we play at.
Especially for like the first like 1 or 2 holes or 3 holes. Then it's like, holy crap, these aren't in the front. Like,
well, that's what he said. He said for the first couple holes, it was really frustrating because they thought they were, but then once they thought they were all red flag, they were all front pins, but then after the 3rd hole, it was like, okay, well, clearly these are not all going to be front pins.
And like you said, they play a different game, so it's like they're going to be for us. It's like whatever. It's it is what it is. But like for them, like they're trying to make the cut and everything, or qualify for it. So yeah, I can understand it, and that could potentially throw you off your game. So.
Yeah, so that was one kind of frustration, I guess. I know that's really the right word. I mean, it did make a difference. That's why they made the cut. But that was one thing he said I thought was funny. It's crazy the different game that they play. That compared to us, it matters to them where the flag is. It doesn't matter to us. The flag can be rainbow colors for all I care about. It still wouldn't make a difference.
It could be red, white, and green. I mean, or red, white, and blue. I don't give a shit. I'm still not putting it inside 50 feet, 15 feet.
Rich, there could be no flag. We wouldn't even notice.
Just let me shoot at the big green thing with the short grass on it.
So that was a cool event. The USGA team markers, the USGA flags, and some of the other stuff. So
those tee markers were sick.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was cool. So sorry for fanboying out for a second, but I just thought it was kind of
whatever.
Neat. And it was at my home course, so Kirkbride Pride. So that was out on Monday. It was a long day, but obviously it worked out, and happy for Tommy. So as far as where he's going next, so how it works, which I learned, is they fill out a preferred location for their sectional qualifier, because I have to go play a sectional qualifier. But the USGA doesn't necessarily grant you your preferred location. I was told that they mostly do, but sometimes you kind of get screwed. Supposedly, so Tommy says his preferred location is to play at a course in upstate New York, in Purchase, New York. I think it's called the Oaks course or something like that. I'm not 1,000% sure on the name. So, but they're not 100% sure where he's going, and so that's why I didn't put it in the article. I actually did put it in the article, and then I had to take it out because I didn't want to get in trouble. But they're not supposed. They don't necessarily grant you your preferred location. So as soon as we find that out, obviously we'll have that up, or I'll have that up, and I'll figure out and I'm sure there'll be a live scoring link, obviously, whenever that comes available on June 6th for the golf's longest day. And so we'll follow him and some of the other guys as well. Just one more thing on the qualifying. Actually, Will Dixon is playing a U.S. Open qualifier on Monday down in Florida, and we'll have coverage of that as well. He's getting pretty good at these Monday Q things, so maybe he'll win. But anyway, that's just a quick side note. There's also a U.S. Women's Open qualifying going on today at Worcester Country Club. Only 2 Islanders are in the mix. Vinnie Papa had to withdraw due to sickness. She withdrew after the 4th hole. But she did wear a Golf News RI hat, so thanks for repping the brand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, her dad sent me a picture of it, so I'll post it eventually. But Kylie Eaton is in the mix, and Ledgemont, Susie Cavanaugh, she's the assistant pro at Ledgemont. She's also playing, but they're both a few shots back. And again, the women's qualifier is 36 holes in one day. So they're in the midst of round 2 as we tape this podcast. So
thankfully it's nice out.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And then so I figure I'll have an article up on that in the next couple of hours or so. They literally just started the second round of the second 36. So there's that. So again, Golf News I will have a recap once it goes final. And as of this taping, they had just started the second 18 over at Worcester Country Club. I thought about going there, didn't make it. It's been an exhausting 3 days. So I just
it's not a long drive, but it's kind of a pain in the ass drive too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I looked it up on the map this morning, on not the map, on the directions this morning, and it said it was only like 40 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible. But
Worcester's probably about anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour.
But they're only 2. I got notified early on that Vinny withdrew, and so there are only 2 Islanders in the field, and it kind of was like, yeah, if there were more, if there was like a ton of Islanders in the field, then made it more reasonable. But for 2, it's tough to go up there. So, but we'll have a recap of it, and I know lots of women's events are coming up soon, so we'll be at those for sure. So anyway, that's kind of the local quality. That's kind of the local story as far as golf in the area. It's been quite a week for sure. Again, it was cool to have the U.S. Open qualifier at Kirkbride and just in Rhode Island in general. I'm not sure when, but I'm sure this happened before. We just never paid attention to it.
Kirkbraid's had a good run of the last 2 years.
Yeah,
of hosting stuff.
Yeah, and as some of the older members will tell you, there was a time when no tournaments were coming to Kirkbride, and now now we got the State Am and the U.S. Open qualifier and all different things. So, so that was on Tuesday. We had the high school tournament on Monday. High school season is wrapping up, and the state championship is in a couple of weeks at Cranston. So that's going to be fascinating. It's been an amazing season for sure. And thanks for the support and help getting scores in for that. And then we have.
Would you say the high school, the Division I championships at Cranston?
Yeah, it's all one championship. There's no division.
Oh, there's no divisions.
It's all one state championship.
That's so weird because we used to have divisions when I was in high school.
Yeah, not anymore. It's all one. So
it's so weird.
So they have it's a 2-day tournament, and then there's only 3 teams that make the cut for the second day. Now there's individuals that can, there's an individual tournament as well, but there's only 3 teams that made the cut for the second day. So everyone's been talking to a lot of the coaches, that first day is going to be fascinating because you have 4 or 5 teams that can legitimately win the state championship. And so only 3 teams made the cut. So it's going to be fascinating. LaSalle is obviously the favorite. And as Coach Rick Angeli of Hendricken told me, if Max Jackson does something stupid, nobody's going to catch him. So it really all based on what Max does. If he goes on the par, and no one's going to be able to, keep up with him like he did last year. But that's still a couple weeks away. High school golf season, amazingly, is only a month long, unfortunately. So it's almost over. But other stuff going on as well. So there's that. We have some of our own tournaments coming up. We have in the U.S. You just talked about the member, and then we have at Kirkbride have the 4-ball, not this weekend but next weekend. Then the week after that is Ryder Cup qualifying. Then if assuming my dad and I qualify. By the way, happy birthday to my dad. Thanks for liking and commenting on my post that I put up, my annual post. Anyway, and then if we qualify for the 4 ball, we have matches and all different things. So it's going to be a busy week on our own golf schedule. So that's always exciting too. And finally, with nicer weather coming up, it should be a good time. So there's that. Lots going on for sure in the local golf land. So there's that.
Yeah.
So let's get into the big story nationally is this Live Golf versus PGA Tour stuff. We know there's a PGA Tour tournament today, the Byron Nelson. We'll get to that in a bit after this commercial break, but this Live Golf stuff versus the PGA Tour, which we said, to our credit, at the beginning, back in wherever it was, December, when we had Bob Harrig on, we said it was going to be one of the most fascinating storylines of the season. And I think to this point, for a while, it was kind of quiet. It was kind of boring. But now it's kind of kicking into high gear, and it's kind of living up to the hype. There's certainly
it was very silent for months.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing. There was tidbits here and there, but nothing big. And now it's, obviously because it's getting closer. It's getting closer to their start in London. I'm not sure the exact date, but
it's the week before it's the week before the U.S. Open, whatever that is.
Okay. All right.
That was the controversy. That was one of the controversies with.
I just need them. I want them to release the roster.
Well, now, so they said they have all these like players, and Sergio is certainly going to be one of them. Lee Westwood is certainly going to be one of them. Phil was certainly going to be one of them.
Possibly Bubba.
Who was the other guy that? Robert Garrigus. Was he one of the guys?
Poulter, maybe.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of names that have sort of leaked out, and they all filed for release from the PGA Tour to play in this Live Golf event, which again is the week before the U.S. Open.
No.
Again, whatever weekend that is, I'm not 1,000% off the top of my head.
Oh, the week before the U.S. Open, so that's the
weekend
19th.
before the U.S. Open. So it's gonna be the 12th. Sunday's gonna be the 12th.
Yeah.
Whatever weekend that is. So, so they all filed for release, which is what they're supposed to do, and the PGA Tour can decide whether or not to grant certain players release for Tournament X. It happens all the time, more than anyone knows. I think players had to get maybe not now, but when the CBS Classic first started, players had to get released to go play in that tournament.
That's crazy, right?
Because it wasn't an official like PGA Tour event. And then the PGA Tour adopted it and made it like a charity event. And so I don't think that's the case. Not that there's a CBS Charity Classic anymore, but that's not the case anymore. But it was when I first started. And that was obviously an easy thing. It was a 3-day event. Like it was, nothing to it. But anyway, so all these players filed for release. So now on Tuesday night-ish, I'm finishing up coverage of the U.S. Open qualifier at Kirkbride. I've been there all day. I'm like exhausted. And then all of a sudden this bombshell breaks on the Twitter sphere. I don't know who was the guy that actually broke it. It might have been Amon, whoever was the actual person, might have been Bob for all I know. And that the PGA Tour denied the players' release for this tournament. Now they released a statement that said there's not.
We're not really surprised by this, are we?
Well,
are we?
No, I'm not stunned.
I'm not really surprised at all.
With the way Monahan has handled it, or has talked about it, it was not.
It's still like a shock factor though. It's like, oh damn.
Well, that's what I mean. It was still like holy shit. It was still like holy shit. Like I was oh my god, really? Yeah. I can't believe they actually did it. So, anyways, because I thought they were just gonna. I thought maybe they were just gonna let these guys go play and then suspend them for actually physically going to play when they actually go play.
Oh boy, that would have been hysterical. Oh, you did go? All right. Here's like a 3-match ban, a 3-tournament ban. You're not allowed to play, and you're not allowed to play in a major.
So
wow.
So that's what I thought they were gonna do, or something like that. But obviously that wasn't. I guess they just denied them. So I don't know if the PGA Tour ever released a formal statement. I never got one. I know Golf Channel or somebody had a comment from Monahan. Well, anyway, the PGA Tour denied these players, however many there were. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Monahan's a gangster.
That came after the Sergio comment where he said, "I can't wait to leave this tour" or whatever because he's in a bad ruling or something. Which the PGA Tour Communications actually posted in a press release that Sergio actually was right, which was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, he was, dude, that hot mic was fantastic though. Yeah, so, I'm not a huge a huge Sergio guy, but I like his attitude and his like hatred of authority. It's fantastic. But yeah, that hot mic was amazing.
I mean, that
It was so good.
That went viral.
Oh, it was
but again, the funny part was he was actually right, I guess, according to the PGA Tour.
It was after like what,
communications.
almost the full like 3
Right,
minutes.
but the guy that in the official, I guess, if I understand correctly, and again, it's a little, all this stuff is a little tricky. But the official that put him on the clock was actually the official from the other tee. It wasn't the official that was like near him, I guess. Something weird. Something weird where a different official put him on the clock, not his necessarily rules official, I guess, which is odd. But anyway, so there was that. So then this comes out, the PGA Tour denies his players. Then Greg Norman, who we're going to get to in a minute, because he's since made some other dumb comments that really just don't really help him at all. Yeah, I mean,
make the hole bigger.
It's what a moron. But anyway, he releases a statement. We got a copy of the statement from the Live Golf media people. And Greg Norman released this statement shortly after the PGA Tour's decision. And it's relatively long, so I'll try to read it as clearly as possible. Again, it's an amazing statement. Sadly, he says, Greg Norman says, quote, sadly, the PGA Tour seems intent on denying professional golfers their right to play golf, unless it's exclusively in a PGA Tour tournament. This is particularly disappointing in light of the tour's nonprofit status, where its mission is purportedly to promote the common interests of professional tournament golfers. Instead, the tour is intent on perpetuating its illegal monopoly of what should be a free and open market. The tour's action is anti-golfer, anti-fan, and anti-competitive. But no matter what obstacles the PGA Tour puts in our way, we will not be stopped. We will continue to give players options and promote the great game of golf globally. So that was Greg Norman's statement. We have the statement in our article on our website regarding this whole debacle. So if you want to read it, just there's an updated version of the article on the site. I didn't put a separate article because I already put up like 5 articles that day within 2 hours, and I felt like people were going to get sick of me. So I was like, we're just going to put it in one article. That's fine. I'll just put updated. So anyway, all of this comes a week or so before the PGA Championship. I know that was just a lot to get through, but your take on what has been a fascinating few weeks and a bizarre few weeks all at the same time.
Oh, what a whole sorry, I was looking at highlights from this morning. Just why keep digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper? Like, about now, granted, the issue that he commented on was important, but it was in 2018. Like, why does that have to come up in 2022 at a golf event? Like a golf what's it called? Golf event, media day.
It was a media day.
I couldn't think of the word. But like why? Like, why? Even if a reporter, I'm sure I'm gonna be willing to bet a reporter baited him into it. He'd probably ask him a question about it. But like, why? Why do you have to answer?
There's better things to say than say that.
Or just say next question. I'm not commenting on that. Like, come on. Just keep digging themselves holes. They keep digging themselves holes. I mean, already people are against the idea because of the dirty Saudi money, how they treat women, how they treat gays, and like just their way of living in general is very, very different and pretty horrifying from how we live our lives. So like, people are having they're having trouble coming to grips with why he would want to like run a league that is based on that is run off of that kind of money, which I get. But like, why? For what reason? Don't answer it. And all I have to say on Jay Monahan, complete savage. We knew it was coming, but the shock factor was still great. I saw that on Twitter. I was like, holy crap.
Right.
But yeah, I'm still gonna watch. I'm gonna tune in if I can. If I'm not at work, I'm gonna tune into it. I want to see who, obviously they should release some sort of statement of who's playing.
They have to release a roster, right? They have to release.
They're gonna have to release a tournament roster, So
now,
I'm excited.
Now, do you think? and I don't 100% know how this works as far as the tour goes, what would happen. But are these guys going to go play anyway, you think? Is there a chance? I don't know what the punishment would be. But if they're really going to,
Sergio, yes. Because I think he like, as we saw last week, he's just at his wit's end with all the BS from the tour. Poulter probably. Westwood probably. Although I'd like to see Westwood stay. Just because he's like we talked about earlier on a previous podcast, he's been competitive his last like 3 years. Like he's been playing some really, really good golf. Top fives, top tens finishes in big tournaments, not necessarily majors, but in big regular season tournaments, he's had top fives, top tens. I think he even squeezed out like a top 3 or something like that. He's enjoyable to watch. I mean, Sergio is too. But I mean, these guys, a lot of these old school guys, they've had enough with the whole like Phil said, the PGA owning their lives, their rights, their everything like that. Why wouldn't you go to a league that's going to pay you $10 million for a last place finish? I'm not saying that's what it is, but like that's the numbers we're talking about.
It's pretty much what it is.
That's the numbers. That's the numbers.
It's pretty much what it is.
Like you're going to finish 20 out of 20 players. You're going to get like $5 or $10 million. Are you kidding me? Like, hell yeah, sign me the hell up. So, but then, I mean, you know, you're part of the PGA. You are a professional golfer, part of the Professional Golfers Association. There's a lot of, what's it called? Prestige associated with that, you know? So I don't know. I see somebody like Sergio. I would have been on the fence about him if he didn't say what he said last week. But I think Sergio is definitely gone. I'm honestly not really sure about the others.
Well, because and we don't know what the punishment would be, or if what the process.
I don't think he's gonna tell you. He's not like if they still go. I don't think he's gonna tell you until after you go.
Because what if? Because like, say if people just want to go play, and then who knows what? We don't know the punishment would be if somebody just goes and plays. But say you know, like Phil goes and plays. Then he then gets suspended for the U.S. Open, which is the following week. He can't play the U.S. Open, and that's the one. Not that he's going to win it, but that's part of it.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Right, because this tournament is the week, like I said, it's the week before the U.S. Open, which we figured is like the 12th. Sunday is the 12th or whatever.
Then whatever the 13th week is. Yeah.
So that's like part of it too. It's like, oh, then you can get suspended for if they do in fact end up suspending. Now there's probably gonna be all kinds of lawsuits and different things. I'm sure there's gonna be like a legal battle of some sort. I would imagine. I mean, that's what everyone's predicting.
Well, I'm assuming those golfers have a contract with the PGA, right?
Yeah, but they're all independent contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
Technically.
Yeah. But they still have a contract, so it's a breach of contract. Then
right, which is why I have to file for release. Which is why I have to request for release.
All sorts of shit happens, and
so that'll be interesting to watch. And again, not again because nobody else knows, but I'm actually going to the International on Monday for a media day for their brand new revamped course, which is the course that the Live Golf event is playing in September. And so there's a Q&A and a whole press conference thing. So I'm going to try to ask that. I don't know if they'll give me an answer, but try to ask it anyway. So there's that. Then I'm actually getting to play the International, which should be fun, I guess. So that'll be cool. But anyway.
Are you playing in the Burke?
No. That's a 2-day thing, right?
Yeah, it's at Newport.
The Burke thing is Monday and Tuesday. That's the one last year that there was
that took forever, right?
It took forever because of the weather. And they all kind of got like screwed up. But no, the Burke one I played in was just the Burke, Burke fun tournament. Anybody can play in that. Last year it was at Wanamatanami. I'm not sure where it is this year. I'll have to talk to my dad. But anyway, no, I'm not playing that. That's for that's for real.
Gino Capiletti just died.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
The Patriot guy.
Yeah, the radio announcer.
Oh, that's a
wow.
And the other Gil Santos passed away too, right?
He passed away a while ago. Yeah.
A couple years ago. Yeah. That's sad news. So again, if you're tuning in, we're taping this at about 3:00 in the afternoon or so. So that's kind of where the breaking news is coming from. Of course, today is scheduled day in the NFL. In case you want more football, It's Schedule A, and we'll find out how many losses the Patriots are going to have this season. And it's going to be a good
They're
number.
Gresh and Keefe, I think we're predicting probably four primetime games. I think for them. I think the limit's 5, right?
Yeah.
I think the limit is 5. I think they said like they were going to do probably 4. Obviously the Packers game is probably going to be one of them. I would think because it's week 4 and the NFL is not going to realize the Patriots suck yet. So
There'll be a lot of early season games to make sure the Patriots are still in it. Just like when they put the Brady game last year early in the season to make sure the Patriots were still competitive. Although they were competitive for most of last season. So that's not really fair. Didn't turn out to be a fair comment, but that's was the thinking behind it. So let's do this. Let's hit a quick commercial break. And then we'll come back. We'll talk about the Byron Nelson today. And then I kind of give a little bit of a look ahead to next week's PGA Championship with Phil and the chaos that's going to ensue in that. And I also have some tidbits from yesterday's PGA Championship call with my good buddy Jim Nance. So let's take a quick commercial break. This is the Golf Dudes podcast. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan.
Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast presented by Link Drinks. Link Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can, and they now have 3 different flavors: the original, the front 9, which I have right in front of me. There it is. And the back 9. So
I had the back 9. The back 9's good. I haven't had the one that you had in your hand.
Rich is a big back 9 Link Drinks fan, so that's always good. This one I haven't tried yet. Perhaps this weekend or today or whatever. Anyway, so look for Link Drinks at liquor stores and country clubs near you. And again, we are looking into doing some sort of event or project with Link Drinks over the course of the season. Now that the season is basically here and the warm weather is here, so it'll be easier to sort of plan things out. So anyway, there's that. Again, thanks to Link Drinks for all of their support. PGA Tour this week is in the Byron Nelson. The scores are very low, and it's also the week before the PGA Championship. It's actually a good field. Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, and the names I'm blanking on the names. I know we just literally went through it before the show. But there's a decent field, and so crazy day of golf. I guess the course must be playing easy or something. 12
Well, let's talk champions real quick while I have this on my mind. They're in Birmingham, Alabama. It's the first major of the year, I do believe.
Yep.
Our guy,
Billy Andre,
thank you. I just blanked hardcore, is playing in it. By the way, as of right now, John Daly is tied for 6th at 3 under.
Wow.
Yes, my man.
He's got the Hooters girls. He's got the Hooters girls following him.
I would think so. Billy Andre is tied for 16th at 2 under, and my boy Miguel Angel Jimenez is tied for 6th at 3 under. I'm actually gonna keep a close eye on this weekend, and I will do a story on Sunday when I.
Is Bernhard Langer winning?
No, Stricker's in first, 6 under.
Did you say who was winning?
No. Stricker's in first at 6 under through 16.
Oh, all right.
Stuart Appleby is at 4 under through 17. Let me see who else of importance is here. Nobody. Padraig Harrington 2 under. KJ Choi, I used to love him. He was awesome back in the day. Mm-hmm. He's at 2 under. That's about it. I just wanted to make it known that John Daly's on the front page of the leaderboard right now.
Okay.
My boy. Anyways, so yeah, let's focus back to the Byron Nelson PGA Tour. Come on. It's taking forever. Per usual. Come on.
Thank you.
All right, so we are at the Byron Nelson this week. We got Sebastian Munoz destroying the course. This is a final of 12 under 60. I'm assuming he was on 59 watch for a while, which is absolutely crazy. We have a two second place ties at 8 under. Mito Pereira and Peter Molinari at 8 under through. Actually, they're both final as well. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of who's playing. Cooch is at 5 under. Hideki Matsuyama is at 5 under. Dustin Johnson's at 5 under. Jason Day's at 4 under. Like Joe said, it is 3:40 right now. So coverage just started on Golf Channel, I do believe. But you can catch it on ESPN Plus early in the morning. Let's see who else.
What do we say Peter Uline was at? The Massachusetts
Peter
kid?
Uline is at 3 under, tied for 24th final.
All right.
Poltz is at 3 under as well. Let me go through here real quick. Let me see who else is. Come on. Scotty Scheffler is at 2 under through 5, tied for 41st. Like I said, him and JT just went off. Bubba Watson, 1 under. Trying to find JT right now. Hello. My boy Sahith Theegala. I'm going to bring his name up all the time. He's 1 under through 9. He contended with Scheffler for the Waste Management. Francesco Molinari's playing. He's 1 under. I'm just trying to find Harry Higgs is even. Trying to find Xander, Jason Duffner even. Jordan Spieth even. Tommy Fleetwood even. Where are you, JT?
You'll have to search at the bottom of the leaderboard for him.
I guess, right? Kiz is 1 over. Another one of my boys. Jesus, we're really having to go down. Will Zalatoris, 1 over. I don't even see him. Matthew Wolf is 2 over through 6. Surprise. And JT's 2 over through 6. So like I said, like I said, it's only 3:40. Coverage just started on Golf Channel. And then obviously this is different from when we do the live ones. The first round's usually already complete. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend. Hopefully Greg Norman opens his mouth again and we can have some more content.
Well, we're certainly hoping for that, and we'll see what comes out of this week. And early prediction. Well, actually, first let me give you this. I teased it yesterday. I had a PGA Championship Zoom call with the CBS crew. Me and my buddy Jim Nance. He just wants to keep talking to me, and he was talking, and of course they were asked about Phil, which was really the best part of the whole thing and the biggest storyline of the whole thing. Other than that, the calls really aren't all that exciting. I mean, they're cool. This is not all that exciting. But they were asked about Phil, and they all danced around it, of course. But Jim said that he had talked to Phil, and he advised Phil on how to handle the upcoming week at the PGA, which pretty much tells you that Phil is definitely playing. If he's already in talks about, and I know he's been in talks with the PGA of America. So Jim Nance said that, and then he added in a later question. I didn't ask any questions personally. I was actually listening to it on my phone. I actually had it up on my phone. So anyway, he was asked later about the response Phil's going to get and different things. And Jim said that he thinks people root for him, and that we're a forgiving country, and people kind of get over it, which I'm sure they will at some point. I would imagine. And so that was kind of his take on Phil Mickelson. I know there's a book coming out, which is a much anticipated book at this point, about Alan Shippuck, who's been a longtime golf writer for decades, really. And now he's with Fire Pit Collective. But he's writing that big book about Phil, and that's coming out within the next few days, I believe. So be interested to see that. And the timing of it is the release of it. The timing of it is interesting for sure. But just your thoughts on what Jim Nantz had to say about Phil, about giving him advice, which is not terribly crazy, nothing terribly crazy. But just the response he would get if he plays. He is the defending PGA champion, believe it or not. It seems like it's been forever, but he's the defending champion.
Yeah, like I said when we were talking earlier, he just needs to get it over with, get it done at the first press conference he shows up to, whatever it may be. I'm not sure if it's Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is. Just get it done and get it over with. Nobody's gonna care. Probably by the end of the day, they're gonna talk. The media is gonna talk about it. They're gonna keep bringing it up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody else is gonna care. Like, just get it done, get it over, rip the Band-Aid off, and just do it. Just get it done, get it over with, and the quicker he does it, the quicker it'll be pushed under the rug.
Now, unless he completely says something totally stupid, in which case it might haunt him. Which, for my purposes, I'm hoping that he does. So that's gonna be a fascinating part of next week. It's really going to overshadow the entire tournament. Next week, maybe we'll do an early show, like a Wednesday night show or something, and do a PGA Championship. We'll worry about that next week. I don't want to.
Well, actually, my schedule's all screwed up. I can do Wednesday.
I'm
working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So
we'll talk about that next week and make some sort of whatever. I don't want to do planning on the air. It's not a good look. It makes us look like idiots. But we'll do something like that next week for the championship. But do you have any early thoughts or early betting on it? Scheffler is the obvious pick, right? I mean, he says
Scheffler, yeah,
it's his favorite course. But do you have any?
But I don't know. I don't really know. Like, they haven't played here in a while, so I'm not really sure whatever. I'd like to see Tiger make the cut. Obviously, I mean, if he can make the cut at Augusta, I think he make the cut anywhere.
Well, you got to think he's only going to be up from here, right? He's only going to get bigger, better, and stronger. In theory,
yeah, of course. I'm not saying. I mean, he can win anything. He can win any tournament that he competes in. I'm hoping Phil makes the cut, just to keep the drama of him and Tiger.
That'd be something. What do you make of Brooks Koepka dropping out this week? Is that a bad sign?
I saw that late. I actually saw that before. Did you post something about it?
No, I didn't post.
No, I can't remember. I think I saw it on Twitter. That's where I saw it. Yeah, he's not right. Something's wrong with his body. I don't know.
Apparently, he hasn't played since the Masters, which I didn't realize.
He hasn't played at all. So something's wrong with his body. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much news. All I saw was that come across my Twitter feed real quick. It was late too, like whatever it was, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
I think it was like Tuesday night. But yeah, very, very interesting, concerning, because I like Brooks. I like the drama that he brings, the IDGAF attitude towards like non-majors and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to be missing him. Hopefully he can make it next week, but who knows?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's an interesting situation with Brooks. There's still interest with DeChambeau. We don't really know what he's doing.
He's definitely not playing. I don't think he's going to be playing next week. There's no way. No, I follow him on Instagram, and he's been doing a little bit
chipping, right?
Yeah,
chipping
like just a little bit of chipping, not even close to mid-iron play or wedges or anything like that. Just a little bit of chipping. So yeah, he's definitely out. He's out till at least the U.S. Open.
And I think Patrick Reed will be an interesting storyline, given his burner account, or not apparently, his burner account. There's rumored to be his burner account.
His wife's burner account
was talking trash about Tiger going to play at Southern Hills, and then reportedly Patrick Reed played a practice round at Southern Hills with the pro as well. So he kind of looks like an idiot, but it's pretty good.
So that just makes me think that it's not her.
Well, I was under the impression that it was pretty confirmed that it was his burner account.
I don't know. No, nobody really knows. There's a good chance it might be, but who knows?
Well, everyone was talking about it. Like, it seemed like it was pretty confirmed that it was his burner account. Maybe his wife just didn't know what he was doing. He doesn't go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, right.
Well, anyway, I thought that was interesting nonetheless. So that's what we have. It's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a great rest of the day. It should be a great weekend of golf. Check out our social media pages for some us playing golf content that you must see, of course. You all want to see our swings and see how terrible that we're doing. So follow us along for the weekend. The first real weekend of golf where it's actually nice weather. No more crazy wind and stuff. So we have that coming up. I also have a course review on the Misquamicut Club, which I was lucky to play yesterday. So that's coming up at some point. That was nice. I was actually blasting some drives. So I'm getting a little bit of confidence with the driver. So perhaps that'll be a weapon this season. So we'll have that. And then we'll have whatever else happens throughout the rest of the week and into obviously the weekend. Obviously, lots going on. Thanks everybody for following along. It's been a big week for us, content wise, other stuff wise. So super exciting stuff, and it'll hopefully continue that going as golf season is kind of here. The tournaments are kicking in, and there's definitely a lot going on. So, Rich, unless you have anything else, do you have a Bruins gonna survive tonight or what?
So, they're gonna win tonight. I think it's gonna be more of the same. They gotta be men and try to win one in Carolina. That seems to be their kryptonite. And they just can't win in that disgusting place.
Who's got a better chance of forcing a game 7, the Celtics or the Bruins?
Oh shit, they're up. They're down what, 3-2?
Celtics are down 3-2, but they got to go to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
the Bruins are game 6 at home.
I think the Celtics have the better shot of winning the series for sure by a lot.
What about just forcing game 7, the Bruins?
I think the Bruins probably. Yeah, because they're complete opposites at home. Carolina's dynamite in Carolina. Boston put the gloves on and beat the shit out of them at home, just like they did it in Carolina. So, I think it's gonna be interesting. I think they pull it out. I think it's gonna be probably like a 4-2 game. I think 3-2 going into the third, maybe empty netter, 5-3, 5-2, somewhere around there. But hopefully, maybe we can get one more. I think game 7 is Saturday because they play opposite the Rangers, right? They don't play on the same day. Yeah, right. So your game 7 Sunday, ours is Saturday. So,
correct.
We'll see.
So, there you have it, folks. This is another
crap ton of goals being scored in the NHL in the playoffs. It's nuts.
Yeah, crap ton. I'm glad for betting purposes. I'm glad Calgary won last night, and we need the Oilers to make a big comeback. But
I forgot about that. That's right.
I think the Oilers could be cooked, and Washington could be cooked too. So
after last night, before Florida tied it, before Florida tied it and went ahead, I thought Florida was the biggest fakers on the planet. They were getting crushed. They're like, I don't know if they won the trophy for the best record in the league, but they were good the whole season, and then they kind of crapped themselves in the first couple games. But they came back. They scored 2 or 3 goals in like 7 minutes to take the lead, and eventually ended up winning. So we'll see.
It's like the Rangers. It was the Rangers on like Wednesday night. They were getting destroyed, and then all of a sudden they scored like 3 goals in like 2 minutes. I was like, "What the hell?" I'm so glad
that the Panthers game was in a commercial, and I turned the channel just in time to see all that.
Yeah, crazy.
It was crazy.
So there you go. We gave you a quick minute on some other sports. Obviously, as I always say, we're sports fans too, and we realize that there are other things going on in the world other than golf on most days. Now next week during the PGA Championship, we probably won't do too much other sports talk, but once in a while we'll be sneaking in. So anyway, thanks to everybody for tuning into the Golf Dudes podcast. Thanks for all the support. Looking forward to a big summer of both our golf personally and content wise and golf news or otherwise. So looking forward to all that. Thanks everybody for tuning in again, and hope you all have a great Thursday and a great weekend. This is the Golf Dudes podcast, and we will talk to you next week.